The presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Dumebi Kachiku, has announced Ahmed Buhari as his running mate for the forthcoming 2023 election. Kachiku says that with the help of his running mate, he will make Nigeria work again. Kachiku stressed that it is time to deliver Nigeria from the hands of politicians without direction. In 2016, Ahmed Buhari ran for the office of the president on the platform of the Sustainable National Party of Nigeria.
It's not for a few, it's for all. Nigerians home and abroad must join this mission. It requires the patriotic efforts of all. Recently, I met a young man who not only believes in all these, but he lives by it. His story is unique and speaks to the core and resilience of the average Nigerian. I fell in love with this young man because of his deep and abiding love for Nigeria. May I present to you my younger brother, my friend, your next Vice President. Mr. Ahmed Buhari.
My acceptance to team up with Dumebi and the ADC is a clear and evident desire I saw within the party's hierarchy to effect positive change in Nigeria. Many presidential candidates and their running mates have only focused on talking about the Nigerian problems we are all too well familiar with. Here, we only talk about solutions. We will only talk about solutions that will get us out of the mess that we have created out of negligence, laziness, self-centeredness, self-denial, and ignorance. I ran for office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2019. And for those who followed my campaign very keenly, I clearly said in 2023, I'm going to be supporting a Southern candidate. Today, I have made my choice.
Well, for more on this, we are joined by Ahmed Buhari, the Vice Presidential Candidate of the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight. Congratulations for your emergence.
Thank you.
And like you said, you're not new to this terrain, so you understand what it means to be successful. You were the presidential candidate for the Sustainable National Party, the SNP, in 2019.
Yes.
When it comes to elections, numbers matter a lot.
Exactly.
And looking at the result for the 2019 presidential election, your party didn't come anywhere close. Now you're the vice presidential candidate for the ADC. What is informing this, and what are you bringing to the table?
Well, it would be unfair to say my party didn't come anywhere close.
Well, you're not one of the top three.
Yes, I was one of the top three. There were about 77 presidential candidates. And only two presidential candidates, talking about the APC and the PDP, were able to garner about 29 million votes.
Yes.
Collectively, all the other candidates were able to mop up around 300,000 votes. It clearly means that Nigerians were only focused on two political parties.
Exactly.
Right.
Be that as it may, we all know too well that these two political parties have presented us candidates that we're not comfortable with. Are we going to sit back and say we're just going to settle for those two? Or are we going to try to convince the Nigerian people that indeed we do have other Nigerians that can actually get us across to where we do want to go?
Right. Well, in your speech there, you said, look, we're not going to talk about problems.
Yes.
We're only going to talk about solutions.
Yes.
Well, security, security, security. But then again, there is economy.
Yes.
What are the practical strategies that you have? Have you even been able to diagnose the root of Nigeria's problems, whether it's in the area of security or even economy, in a way that you can begin to solve the problems?
You know, many people have asked these questions, and as much as I keep telling them it actually has to do with the willpower, I think it's very important for us to also understand that when it comes to security, I've seen a lot of politicians come to your studio and talk about their plans to tackle insecurity, but there's just one person who can comfortably tell us how he intends to tackle insecurity in this country, and is the person who receives the security intelligence report on a daily basis, and that is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Right.
So it really does not make any sense when people come here to say, I'm going to tackle it in the first 20 days in office. How do you want to do it? Do you have the security report? Do you even know the depth, the extent of what we're dealing with? We're talking about insecurity that has spanned out from the northeast, and now it's gone all across the north central, the northwest, everywhere in the country, and the southeast is uncomfortable as well. So it means that indeed for us to actually talk about tackling these problems, the security report has got to be received by that person. But fundamentally, what I do know we need right now is the right person that has got the willpower to do the things that they have to do. I am not a beneficiary of whatever process
What are
come
those
out.
things
I'm not a
specifically that
beneficiary.
need to be done?
I'm not a beneficiary of whatever process come out from insecurity.
Right.
I don't have any friend that benefits from the process of insecurity. I'm not standing here today to say I've been endorsed by people who benefit from the process of insecurity. So what that clearly means is that when we get the opportunity, we're definitely going to fight this thing decisively. And so when you ask me about what kind of strategy, I believe we've come to a time when we have to use technology. I mean, there are helicopters flying Abuja, Kaduna every day, when we can actually have drones do that, for example. It's so expensive flying those planes. If you need to set the budget, it's about $10,000 for each tow to Kaduna, another $10,000 back to Abuja. When you can actually have drones, multiple drones, run all of those places and actually give you information in real time. So it means that we're having people who have decided to fixate themselves with how things have always been done, believing that those are going to give us new, maybe changes, but they're not going to change anything. I believe that we do need a true generational shift in how we approach all of these issues, how we think about these issues, how we want to work with these issues. And one of the things I've always been saying is that, yes, Nigeria is entangled in some treaties that we've actually signed with the international community, that we're actually entangled in them right now. The only way we can actually get these things out is to go back to the table and renegotiate some of these treaties. If we have to beg, we will beg.
Okay.
If we would have to renegotiate, we will renegotiate. If we have to fight, we must.
Okay.
But definitely we have to depart from these ways.
I mean, this is a question that comes up every time because we know how political parties are structured and how you need to win votes. Your party, the ADC, has no elective office across the Federation at the moment. How much of a challenge would that be for you should you win the presidential election? And let me just ask you, because you touched on security, just today the Nigerian Senate has given an ultimatum to President Ahmed Buhari to fix security in 6 weeks or face impeachment. What is your reaction to that? The House of Representatives may also do that from information we're getting from the leader.
So like I said in my speech earlier this afternoon, in the last 3 weeks, 3 months rather, I've been approached by 3 different presidential candidates and the political parties to see how I can support them. And one of the reasons why I turned down most of those offers was because I didn't see clearly how those structures could actually activate anything for us. The ADC, if you do not know, is 19 years old. It's going to be 20 years old next year. It has got offices in all of the states.
Really? They're not elective offices. There are no governors, there are no member of House of Reps or member of National Assembly, federal lawmakers, state lawmakers. That's
yes,
what I mean.
I mean, for example, you can pick up other political parties who didn't have anything like this earlier, but they did grow. They did pull through, they did change things, you know, and then today you see them in the House. So I believe that if we're going to fixate ourselves with the fact that, oh, nothing can change, then we are actually, you know, agreeing that we've been hopeless. But with regards to the senators that actually walked out today, it's fantastic. I wish they did this many years ago. Maybe if they did it, Hassan wouldn't have been abducted. Maybe if they'd done it, maybe the Buniyadi boys wouldn't have been in captivity today. Maybe if they've done it, we wouldn't be talking about the dollar at 710 naira today. So it means that so much should have been done. And I do not know how the senators want to separate themselves from all of this mess that has happened all in the last 8 years or so, because they've been part of the system. If they're just taking a walk out at the 11th hour, then I'm disappointed.
So speaking of those who've been part of the system, you haven't been part of the system.
I haven't
so
been.
Is this the not too young to run, you know, law in action? Is that what we're saying? And do you think Nigeria is really ready for youth ticket?
You know, first of all, I'm not so young anymore, but
you still look quite young.
Yeah, but in all honesty and all sincerity, I think at the end of the day, the choice lies with the Nigerian people. We are the ones who feel the brunt the most. It's our decision to decide whether we want to continue like this, whether we want to support people in their 70s who truly we do not feel so comfortable with, or because we believe oh, this is the winning team. It can't go to the younger people, forgetting the fact that the true electoral value, the true electoral vote resides with us, the young people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ahmed Buhari.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've answered, a lot of questions about the Buhari name, but we'll leave it for another day.
Thank you so much, and we wish you the best.